Hey, it's your girl, Buddha in the Crucible, broadcasting to you live from Las Vegas. Right, we're still here in Las Vegas. Life is good, we woke up, yada, 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 yada. Nam yo didn't get killed to you. And so today I was really gonna commit to putting his mask on, like I said I was going to do last time. Again, this is the FAL black charcoal peel off mask. So we slather it on, it dries, and it's crazy because it would have dried. I've been able to peel it off and everything for as long as I talked to you. In fact, I ended up editing that video into a two-part because a combination of long-winded and having that many stories. So anyway, today I'm gonna tell you about a story of another guy's story. I'm gonna switch it up. Don't worry. So anyway, this is another guy's story, but this is about this casual encounter that I had with somebody who was very financially well off. It's not that they were famous or anything. They were just somebody who was really, really rich. And this is going to be part of a collection that, all the rich guys that I've ever met and talked to, like, if I had, like, whatever, like, sexual stuff they were into, they're always, like, something crazy. And, I mean, I just attribute it to, when you're rich and you have it all, it takes a little bit more to get that thrill going or whatever. So anyway, this was a guy, it was all consensual, so we're not going to get weird about that. But this was a guy, and I'm going to put my hair out of the way. How did I even meet him? I'm pretty sure it was the internet, but this was a while ago, so it wasn't like Tinder or OKC or anything. It was however people used to meet on there, like maybe like MySpace, I don't know, one of them. Anyway, this was on the East Coast, a long time ago. Not a famous person, just happened to be a well-off person. Young enough. He was in his like late 20s. I was in my early 20s, and I was casual, free to be, whatever. So, but I was still like really insecure in this kind of thing. And this was again rich, non-POC, we'll say, because I get tired of throwing the W word around. But anyway, was not a person of color, but he, so well-to-do, put-together kind of Chad Brad guy. So he said, why don't you meet me for a drink, public place, whatever, like that. Okay. I had a car and stuff, kind of had it together. We're going to put this on today. Had it together or whatever. And, like enough to I didn't need to date him for survival or anything. It wasn't that kind of flow, but it was just casual. So he's like, yeah, just meet me. And it was kind of in this I don't know, I guess it's an upscale part of where it was a major city. It was kind of in the nicer part, kind of more progressive hipster area, but like nice. Well, no, it's not hipster because it's not rich people pretending to be broke, but they are like rich people, high taxes and stuff for that real estate. So anyway, so as we meet me, they have shops and pubs and whatever, like in the little social part of the town, that area. So I'm like, okay, so I go up there. It's not far from where I live anyway, and lived. And so we meet, and right, it's like a bar / restaurant kind of place, as I remember. And I was just dressed kind of like nice enough to go out, but not anything crazy. It wasn't like I was dressed for the club, but I could go to a bar, or I just wouldn't be the fanciest thing in the club if we went. I was just nice but casual. So he and I was I'm still a healthy girl. Well, that's not flattering. Still a healthy girl, but I was bigger than this, and so I was kind of insecure about that. But I would get dudes. So anyway, but this guy, when I met him, I mean, I had seen like pictures and stuff, and um, like it's not like I didn't know what he looked like, but when I met him, I kind of did feel a little out of my element because I felt like, base longer story short, like I felt like his type wouldn't like me because here I was, this chubby brown girl. Like, to me, guys like that were like American Psycho. It's funny that I say that because that's the movie he played when we kicked it at his house. So anyway, like, not because I thought I was too ghetto, but man, like, really truthfully, fat. And I was thinking, oh my god, like, this guy, like, I know he doesn't like fat girls. Like, you can tell, right? I was making a judgment. So I was like, no, like, he's fun and nice and everything, but I don't want to wait until he is rude, or feel rejected. So I'm kind of like gauging the whole time, if he even really wants to hang out. So we meet up and he sees me and he looks me over and he's like, oh, hey, how you doing, or whatever. Like, he's not over the top, but oh yeah, I got it all over my lip. He's not over the top, but he's not acting, catfished or anything, which, and I did look, for the record, I did not attempt to catfish him. I had all my pictures up and stuff, but for me at least, being a big girl, even though guys will agree to meet with you and stuff, at the time I was still worried that, and it's not like I tried to hide, I didn't try to be deceitful, but at the same time, I wasn't going to go out of my way. Like, I didn't want to put pictures online, like as if to say, like, see, I'm letting you know in advance, I'm fat. So, like, I didn't want to make it like I'm putting it as a disclaimer, like I'm ashamed of myself. But I guess it's kind of ironic that low-key I basically was ashamed of being that big, because I won't act like I'm so skinny now. But I'm, you don't know me, but I was bigger then. So anyway, I was like feeling kind of nervous because I'm like, there's no way that this guy is into big girls, and he really doesn't even look like he's ever been with a brown girl. So what is this really about? But I'm young and silly, so he was being friendly and stuff, so I was going with it. So I'm like, okay. So we hang out, we have like a drink, but then it kind of like, I think I remember because this was a long time ago, but I remember it kind of like the conversation stalemated kind of, but it was more kind of like the atmosphere. Like, the atmosphere was okay, but we kind of were just like over the whole public setting. So, and I guess he just wanted to go ahead and get to it, his plans. Me, I was sex flexible. Like, I wasn't going there to make sure I had sex like he probably was as a male. But I was not like against it because he was hot or whatever. And but low key, I'm still clocking the fact that I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm not your real type. So okay, then we know. But what I was like, kind of, even though guys like were acting like they wanted to have sex with me, I was still kind of low key, insecure about that kind of stuff. So even though I liked having sex, I don't want to act like I'm retired now, but I'm saying, like, I enjoyed sex, but the insecurity leading up to it was consistent for me. So anyway, we go back to he's like, I have a house in the area. Oh, I got it on my leg. Then I smudged it more, trying to get it off my leg. A house in the area. So we can just go there. Why don't we go back to my place? And I have a big, I have like a rumpus room, like a rec room in my basement. Now again, rich, put together guy. Like, I don't even remember what exactly he did. Like, he probably owned some company, or like one of these young rich guys, just real American Psycho. So we go over there, and he takes out 2 bottles of champagne like it's nothing out of his fridge. doesn't give me a tour or anything. Takes me right down to the basement, which is fully furnished, you know, the whole business. So I'm like, you know how, like, I don't know. Well, I don't know about you, but for me, I'm like, I know that this is a stupid thing to do, but champagne. So, you know, as far as I can tell, it's just us there. I'm trying to make it better and I'm making it worse. As far as I can tell, it's just us there or whatever. So, you know, we're kind of chatting conversationally, but I am quickly feeling the effects of this, like, expensive, legit champagne. And before I know, we go through 2 bottles. And, you know, we're what? So what movie does he put on? American Psycho. And he's like, this is my favorite movie. And he was serious like that. Like, I don't remember him laughing. You know, it was kind of one of those things where, you know, they just going through the motions of you guys going out and having a good time, but they're just like being patient towards whatever they really want. And like I said, I was DTF, you know, I mean, I didn't like announce it, but you know, the vibe was there. So, but my silly butt was still kind of in that mindset of, you know, you want to have, at least for me, I can only speak for me. You want to, like, I want to have casual, I would want to have casual sex, like, I will, you know, it would all be fun leading up to the moment. And then at the last moment, I would get this thought in my head to say, well, wait, what if, are you going to respect me after this? Like, now, if I were to say that, I will quickly slap myself because I don't care. Like, you have to own whatever choices that you make, or, well, I shouldn't say you do, but I'm saying, like, I'm in the mindset of, there's, like, this little dried piece that came off the tube that I'm trying to figure out what to do while I talk to you. But anyway, like, you know, I don't, longer story short, I don't feel that way anymore. So, okay, it's mostly on, oh, I meant to get this little part on my forehead. Alright, I'm done. I think that's enough. Well, enough so that it peels off or whatever. So anyway, so right, like, so here's, you know, puts on American Psycho. Again, like, at least for me, all that I can say, all the guys that I will probably end up telling my business on this channel about, anonymously, I can tell you, like, when you look back on it, there were plenty of hiding in plain sight warning signs. And, you know, for me, it's helped me to be a more intuitive person. But at the time, you know, right, I made a choice to go along with it, even though I kind of saw that little low-key sign, you know what I mean? So anyway, so we watched a movie where, like, at least me, I'm Slash, I'm not even sure if he drank any. And I'm, you know, feeling great, right? Oh, this is what rich people talking about, whatever. And we're having a good time. We watched a movie. Wow, that's a crazy movie. But he just kind of that weird calm the whole time. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll go upstairs now. And, you know, I'm like Slosh and pliable. I'm like, okay, whatever, you know, having a good time and feeling good, you know. So we go upstairs to his room and start messing around. And then, I think that was when we started messing around in his room, like a room on the bed. I think it was his room, but out of one of his houses. So, anyway, we're like kind of fooling around and stuff. And, you know, that's when I said something along the lines of, like, you know, kind of and right, like, to me, even now, I'm like, ugh, buzzkill, like, why would you ask that? But, right, I was feeling insecure. And I'm like, I asked something along the lines of, like, but are you gonna, you know, how do I know you're gonna respect me? And it was such a laughable question, because it's like, it's like, you fool, we're not even gonna know each other after this. Like, who cares if I respect you? You know, like, it was just, whether he respected me or not is the point. That if I was down, then why? It's just a lame time to be pondering that, you know. So anyway, to me now. So anyway, he kind of like he was almost gonna lose the momentum from me asking that lame question, and he's just kind of like, oh, you know, oh, come on, don't do that kind of thing. And I'm like, right, like, you know, it's kind of like, yeah, you know, what are you doing? So I'm like, yeah, I'm already here, like, fooling around, getting ready to get down. So we're messing around, and I still feeling this weird, like, tugging on my leg. And I could tell it wasn't his leg. I mean, it wasn't any of his limbs. And because he's all preoccupied with whatever here. And I'm like, it felt out of place. And I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, I'm like, what in the world? And I'm like, and I kind of like, we're like messing around the bed, the lights are out and everything, kind of look over to the side, and I don't see anything. But I know I felt something on my leg, like tugging at it. And I'm like kind of sloshed, and I'm like, oh my god, like, what is that? And he's climbing all over me, whatever, he's like, whatever. And I'm like, but I'm trying to be in the moment, like, I'm not against the moment, but what was that tugging at my leg? And I feel it like again, and I feel like a couple more times, and I finally sit up, and I'm like, what was that? And I look up in enough time to see what's that? It's a dog. What is that dog? Not just a dog. No, we couldn't do that. It was a freaking full-size mastiff. Like those the really big, long, tall ones that live for like 10 years or whatever. Whatever mastiff that is, I think, right? Huge mastiff. I leaned up in enough time to see him finish. I had my panties still on one leg. He pulled that was what the tug was. He was pulling the panties off of my leg. And I looked up in enough time to see him swallowing the last of them. His dog ate my panties. And I'm like, what the? And he's like, no, it's okay. He always does that. What? He always does what? And then I look over the side of the bed. Well, my pants are there, but my socks are gone. The dog ate my panties and he ate my socks. Pulled my panties off of my leg to eat them. Like, that's what he was doing while we're working each other. He's working my leg to eat the panties. Right, what do you say to that? But that was, for me, that was finally like the final straw. I was like, okay, you know what? Like, your demeanor is weird. I know I'm not your type. We got sloshed down you took me to the basement. Your first time you met me, granted your rec room is in there, but I doubt that's the only place you have a TV. But whatever, we watch American Psycho. Then you take me upstairs to fool around, and now your big mastiff that you didn't tell me you had casually walked into the bedroom while we were fooling around and just ate my panties and my socks. Yeah, I'm gonna get going before this gets any crazier. And the thing is, like, okay, like, I know maybe that's traumatic, but to me, it's like, okay, these little things already happening. How much more hints do you need? It's not, okay, the dog didn't attack me, but he was and then you didn't tell me about it. You kind of just waited for it to happen and then acted like that was regular. I don't want to know how far the rabbit hole goes at this point. I don't, maybe that's like silly, but all those things finally added up to the point where I got paranoid, and I was like, okay, who knows how much more is like the norm. Like, okay, he acts like American Psycho, kind of like that calm stuff, and then he has you watching it, and then he has you, and then the dog is eating people's clothes, and he's always done that. Like, who knows how many clothes you had, or what he ate of them. I'm not trying to wait to find out. So we had already already halfway through fooled around, and I can't remember if we finished or not, because I mean it was kind of good, but for me to sound so worried now. But right, my point is that at some point the need to have an exit strategy kicked in, and I was like, oh, okay, well, it's so late, I'm gonna get going. And he was like, oh, are you sure, because we could fool around some more or whatever. And I was kind of, oh no, I'm gonna get going. So because I'm like, just get out before anything else, like, I don't even know. So because again, like, I know I'm not your type, so I just feel like who knows what you're willing to do to some, like you might need them to not be your type so that you feel okay with whatever more things you might escalate into doing. So right, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get going. So right, I did manage it. I got it out. He kind of like pushed a little bit for, oh, you want to go? And it's like, yeah. So I just threw what clothes the dog hadn't eaten yet. Now I have no panties or socks, but I guess I had a bra still. So I got out of there, and I never heard from him again. And I don't think I reached out to him again. I might have done one of those "Hey stranger" texts. I can't put it past me, like, later on, but I never. If I did, he didn't respond. We never talked again. So anyway, managed to get the mask on. Managed to talk to you for less than an hour, and that is pretty much what happened with the story. So what do you think? Do you think I'm just being very dramatic? Have you ever been in a crazy story like that where somebody were just like a little bit, and you hopefully you did manage to get out before it escalated? I'm not trying to condemn this person. I'm just saying, if it was coincidental and I was just reading into it, it's just funny how all that stuff can add up to you drawing that kind of conclusion to where you're like, I don't know what's going on, but I need to get out of here. So tell me what you think. Do you think, right, like, well, we know it's stupid to just or it can be dangerous to get together with somebody when you don't know them, and all that kind of standard stuff. So if you have anything beyond the normal, typical kind of opinions about that, then right, tell me what you think. Tell me about your, if you have a crazy story that happened to you with somebody that, it's like you just know something is just really kind of off. Hopefully, again, you got out safe. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this story. I was wondering if I thought I would probably run my mouth long enough for this to be dry, but it's not dry yet. So I'm gonna go for now, just because that was the end of the story. So no point for you to sit here staring at me in this very controversial mess. So anyway, thanks for listening. Hello Buddhism. Tell me again, like, I just attribute that to relationship karma. Do you have anything that you chant for that, help you change your, I don't, the thing is, like, to be clear, I'm not worried about having a boyfriend or husband or anything, but, you do at least want to attract quality. So if you have anything you want to contribute to that aspect of it, again, I just attribute it to relationship karma. For me, but right, these are just crazy stories, and I definitely chant to be protected for my own safety. Because really, like, even if somebody is Johnny Good Guy, like, this guy was really clean cut, put together, but sometimes, like, I've met my share of people that were so Johnny Good Guy on the outside, and when you're alone with them, it wasn't even necessarily sexual, but you just, you saw their demon, and that's my gift. So to be able to see people's darkness and all that kind of crazy stuff. So anyway, let me know what you think, or comment. Please share, contribute. Let's get chatting, and have a great day.